Hi everyone. I realize it's been a couple weeks since I've made any form of update on the TARDIS truck build. Well, I figured now would be a good time to make a quick update. I apologize for the stuff in the camera lens. It's a bit chilly outside. That is one of the factors that has kind of put a little bit of a hindrance on the work. Couple of new pieces of information for everyone. I have started the truck a couple times, and it's still a little picky with starting, but the electrical system is holding out just fine. This battery has not been charged pretty much since I first got the vehicle to start and posted the It's Alive video. But it's still a little hesitating. I'm going to have to get a rebuild kit for the carburetor. That has become obvious. It seems the float's sticking. And a small issue that comes with that float sticking is these holes right here are actually bleeders. They allow fuel from the float bowl to exit out the top of the carburetor, given an excess in pressure. Well, an excess in pressure is brought on by the fact that the fuel system is controlled by that non-OEM pump. It works, it does allow the vehicle to run, but I do not want to have that when it's all said and done. I have the ability to get a correct fuel pump for this vehicle for around $30, which is not bad, which is an original mechanical fuel pump. The rebuild kit for the carburetor runs about another $40, if that's estimation, because I've seen prices anywhere between $20 and $40, so I'm aiming for the higher side just for precautionary measurement. That way, if I have the money, I can get the part and there's no problems. I've talked to a couple people about the vehicle, distinctively the radiator. The sounds of things, there is not a radiator easily available for this truck. Now, I could modify and get one to fit in the vehicle and work. That is a possibility, but it's not something I want to do. What I'm going to end up having to do is I'm going to have to find somebody who's capable of basically rebuilding this back the same way it's supposed to be. So we'll take a quick look under here. So this radiator here, rebuilding this radiator and basically replacing all the fins and all the tubing and resoldering everything, and I don't even have an idea as to how much that'll cost. It could be $50-$60. It could be $200-$300. So that's something that it'll have to happen, but it's not going to happen right away, at least for now. It leaks, but it's not leaking like a sieve. So that's a good thing. Another key update about this. In the It's Alive video, I made comment about an had fluid leaking out of the bottom of the engine. Well, not the bottom of the engine, the side of the engine, distinctively above the oil filter. After doing some research, it looks like it is an older freeze plug that has, of course, blown out, which means most likely this engine has suffered at least one freeze. That's going to require disassembly of the engine, disassembly of the head covers and gaskets and everything, and probably replacing all that because they could very well be damaged or bad. That's not a huge issue, but it's a lot of work. The transmission, of course, we have no idea the status internally. We have no idea the operation because, of course, before I can test the transmission, we need to make sure that the engine isn't going to explode while testing it. So, obviously, it is imperative that I get the engine to start, run, and not overheat. So the water cooling system, radiator system, will definitely have to be fixed. I will have to get that plug, which from what I've noted, it looks like it's upwards of $1 or $2 at O'Reilly's. I bought me a set of calipers so I can actually measure and get accurate measurements of pipe diameters and stuff like that, rather than just guessing. So that will come in extremely handy for measurements. Another thing is a lot of the windows are, of course, cracked and broken, and even I've done a little testing. I smacked this with a point of something, I forget exactly what, and did all this just to see kind of how it reacted, how the middle layer reacted. And the middle layer is kind of squishy in this particular sheet of glass. That could be due to age, it could be due to design, but if you notice along the edges, you'll see bubbles right along here. Much better spot to show you is in the windshield, where you get big bubbles like that or this, and that's that inner layer, that protective plastic layer, basically falling apart. Well, a local company here actually can produce panes of glass that will replace these windows, and I'll need a total of 4 of them for the front end of the vehicle. I'm also planning on doing, and I will probably hand cut these myself versus getting them manufactured, but these 2 rear windows are plexiglass, and I don't really like that. Plexiglass scratches, plexiglass cracks easy. It's not very suitable for a vehicle because the fact that things can go wrong. Other than for that, we have not touched the tires since it's been moved. The vehicle, of course, has stayed stationary in this spot. We've got it chalked in place on the driver's side front tire. But all these tires, for 10 years, actually seem to be doing okay. They look a little bit low, but then again, it's, I want to say, close to 32 degrees outside almost. It's pretty chilly out here. And the bowing of the tire is pretty decent. My nose is also starting to run, which is never fun. Another thing that I definitely want to do in between now and when I get the engine fixed up to run stable and safely is drop the gas tank, clean it out, check it, make sure that it doesn't have any holes or leaks in it, because otherwise it'll have to be replaced, and that can be fun, because I'm betting those are not going to be easy to find. And I really do not want to purchase or find a alternative gas tank to run in this thing. If I have to, I have to, but the goal is not to buy third party. I'm trying to avoid aftermarket accessories for the actual vehicle itself. Now, that being said, something I'm going to talk about real quick that's kind of ahead of my plan of action is actually the external lights. Now, I don't think I've mentioned that yet, but since this is mostly an update, just kind of explaining what's been going on the last couple of weeks and where I want to go with this project. All the lights on this vehicle, now of course, I'm guessing that one of these lights would flash constantly to indicate that it's a slow-moving vehicle, possibly, or I don't know. I really have no idea. It looks like that guy there was aftermarket, and that's original, because the backlights are exactly the same as those, except they're red. I'm going to replace all of these lights. So this light here, even these lights here are all going to come off and all get replaced. The headlights I'm going to put in it, I'm going to get some nice, bright, decent xeons, something that can illuminate the road in front of this vehicle and make my driving safe, but not blind the freaking crud out of everyone else. Additionally, when this bumper is repaired, I have a 52-inch light bar that I do need to do some work on getting it fixed, but it's not that bad of a repair job. Probably about $10 in some circuitry and about maybe a couple hours of soldering. That's not an issue for me. It probably got overvolted or something and burnt out, but I'm going to mount that onto the bumper here and secure it down, somewhat for function, somewhat for fun. It'll double as a fog light headlight, kind of high beam ability, so it will have some practicality to it, but it will be a little bit of a novelty for kind of, why not? I can have some novelty on this truck. It's my vehicle. If I want novelty, I'll have novelty. It's the goal is to get the vehicle interior function, the chassis, to stay as stock as possible. The exterior, think of it, an easy way to think of it is you build a painter's canvas all the same. They're always usually a wood frame or plastic frame with canvas wrapped around it. That's your chassis. But what you paint on it is up to the artist. So in this case, what I do to the outside is up to the artist, or in this case, me. How I want to style it, how I want to theme it, the TARDIS truck build is completely my choice. I could paint it like a UPS truck. I could paint it like it originally was, but I'm not going to, because I want something that fits me for the theme of the actual exterior. And as you can see, it's been painted before. I have no clue what this up here says. I know that's an S and an A. I don't know what that says. And then you've got auto. So at one point, this was probably being used as some sort of automotive vehicle for probably carrying parts or something. Maybe like BSA Auto. I'm guessing, but that very well could be a B. I don't know. In the back here again. Now, I've got an idea that I want to pursue, but I don't think it's going to work out. There's a company producing OLED lights, which is actually really cool technology, because just like in most good smartphones, your Galaxies, your higher-end smartphones, you have optical light-emitting diode technology, or OLED. They do not have light bulbs. They are not LED, so don't get them confused. They're an organic light-emitting substance. And that would be cool, because if I could get an OLED light that would be surface mountable, they are literally 2.5 millimeters thick. So they're really thin. But I could have a reverse light for my convenience and possibly legality. A yellow turn signal light, because I actually don't like when vehicles put this as your brake and turn signal. It drives me up the freaking wall. That's your brake light. That light should indicate you are braking. Vehicles should have a second light to indicate turning. So I'm going to have a turn signal light, I'm going to have a reverse light, and I'm going to have the brake light. And I'm going to either go with LED, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing, and just do something simple that's flush mountable so it doesn't stick out. Because obviously, when you open these doors and lock them in place there, you have all of, well, there's my hand. You've got all of an inch at this side and probably 3/4 at the other side. I'm not measuring it. I don't have a tape measure on me, but either way, I don't have much room to play around with to put bulkier lights like that down there. Now, yes, I could put the lights down there, but when you think about it, the design of the vehicle, if I put a plate over there and put a light there, it's going to look weird. So if I put the plate on the left side, or I could put it on the right side, I don't think that I have to have it mounted in a very specific place, but I want things to look clean and straight and tidy. It means putting the lights along this here are going to look nicer. And then, of course, up at the top, you're going to have some lights at the top edge, but also the police public call box, or Now, I haven't checked into this. It's something I still need to check into. But I might have to replace the word police with something else. So it will probably be TARDIS public call box written up here, just like on the top of the TARDIS, except with the replacement of police with TARDIS. And that's just because I really don't want to get pulled over by every cop in every city on the face of this freaking earth because of one word. One 6-letter word. And it is possible that can happen. Now, this side again, I'll have lights at the very top ridge running along the vehicle to the front, this area up here. That will, of course, indicate the height of the vehicle. I will probably put some down on the bottom as well to indicate the side of the vehicle, just so there's indications all around the vehicle that is there. The front top here, again, I will have probably those, like, teardrop-shaped ones that go back. And I'll put them up the ridge because, again, this is going to have the same thing that all the other sides are going to have with that sentence on the top, the sign. And that I have to account for. And everything I do, the details of the body paint, have to have account for everything else that's going on the outside of the vehicle. But with the weather getting colder, unfortunately, work on this vehicle is going to slow. I wish I had a heated garage. I wish I had the funds to throw this together in 3 weeks and be good. But I don't have millions of dollars to spare. I'm not a YouTube freaking billionaire. And so I have to take this project one day at a time. There are other bills that have to come first that I must take care of, or well, this project will dead end and end up in a storage unit, and I don't want that to happen. I actually want to see this vehicle on the road. That is my definite end game, is to get this vehicle on the road and drive it around and have some fun and show it off and maybe go to car shows. Heck, for those of you watching this video, for those of you following this truck build, you might be surprised that maybe a year down the road that you're hearing about this truck at a car show, and you can go, oh wow, I watched this guy do this. I followed this guy through the fast times and the slow times doing this, and I know the work he put into this vehicle. I want this to be a project that people, that even though you're not going to have probably the ability to ever come in contact with this vehicle, to actually talk to me in person, to actually meet the guy behind the TARDIS truck build, it'll be cool if you hear about this vehicle at a car show. You can go, you watch this truck, you watch this project fulfill, you watch this come to life. You watched a 1963 truck go from sitting in a field to running down the street with a Whovian theme. So, of course, any Doctor Who fan, when this is done, any Doctor Who fan that actually follows the show or loves the show or enjoys the show should be able to pick this out of a freaking haystack. But, I mean, it's going to be a slow project. I'm not trying to say that it's not going to go without these couple weeks without an update. I have a life that I have to take care of, so I mean, this project will hopefully grow. I mean, I've gotten people that have asked me for a card because they're curious about it, or they think that the concept is cool, and I'm all for that. Come join, come watch, come check it out, come support me, come give me ideas or assistance if you see something that maybe I'm missing. I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I am actually probably one of the worst people to be working on a vehicle of this age, because I literally have no freaking clue what I'm doing. I've asked so many people for help and guidance simply because I don't know. I'm learning. And that's what this is. This is a chance for me to grow and to learn and to have fun and to make something out of something that is pretty much just rusting. So I do thank all of the people that have joined up so far. And I hope many more people will follow and that this will grow and definitely take on a meaning and have kind of a following that people are sharing ideas, or maybe you're like me. For instance, and I will tag his YouTube channel. There's a guy who goes by the name of Car Guru on YouTube, and he actually bought a salvaged Tesla. Now, I was following this guy on YouTube, and I kind of watched through his projects. He took the car apart. He, of course, yeah, it was a disaster from the beginning. But now his car, Dolores, is a fully functional, running Tesla car that he technically built himself. That took a lot of labor and a lot of time, and was definitely cool to watch. And it's actually part of the reason that inspired me to do this. I heard about this truck. I saw the truck. I knew about it. And I voiced my interest in having this as a project. And lo and behold, I wound up with it. Out of all the odds and the fact that the person that basically gave me the truck, the person that I worked with to get this vehicle, could have sold it to somebody else and actually made more money off the vehicle than I basically compensated them for. But they gave me the opportunity to do this. So they gave me the opportunity to pursue this project and to do it. And I definitely don't want to let them down. I have no interest in letting this sit and sit and sit. Yeah, life has to go on, and it's always going to get in the way of something. But as time permits, I will keep posting updates when I have the ability to, and I will keep recording everything I do. I don't have all the videos that I've recorded so far, all the fails, all the good things, and everything. I haven't posted that on this, on YouTube, for people to see, because that's kind of going to end up a big collage video, and I don't want to bore people with billions of these videos of just basic info. I want to release one big half-hour, 45-minute, 3-hour long, whatever you want to call it, montage of everything that goes on. And that's going to happen. I've got, at this point, about 50 gigabytes of video so far. That's the hard drive that I have dedicated to it. Is a 500 gig hard drive. So that's a tenth of that hard drive that I've already filled up with just the video, the raw footage that I've recorded. Even this video, which, I mean, is being recorded at, I think, 1080p. I don't think I have my phone at 4K, and I really hope not, because that's going to be a huge file to upload. And there's no point in recording this at 4K. But, I mean, all that footage, all that video is going to end up being one big collage of all the work that's done on this truck. Every detail that I can cover and do that I'm able to record. Yeah, I probably won't keep the audio in it simply because some of the audio might be good, some of the audio might be bad, but I have to edit that video, and that's a lot of video to edit already. So, tell your friends, tell your family, tell people that are Whovians, tell people that are into classic vehicles. I mean, go and spread the word. Tell anyone that you think might be interested in following this. I'm not in it to make money. I'm not in this to do anything. I made a GoFundMe page because, well, it was suggested. Hey, if you really want to, then go for it. I'm not out begging people for money to do this project. I'm putting all my hard-earned money, which so far I put roughly about $200 down towards this vehicle in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's buying tools that I'm going to use on the vehicle. The battery actually was $100, which actually is a really good deal when you think about it, because that's 1,000 cold cranking amps. And that's a pretty big battery. Yes, it's marine grade. But I'll tell you this. If you know nothing about vehicles, or even if you do, remember, cold cranking amps are measured from a certain temperature. For normal car batteries, it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit. For marine grade, it's 32. How often are you starting your vehicle in sub-zero temperatures? How often are you starting your vehicle really under 32? About a quarter of the year, at the worst. And that's if you're living in an area that's pretty cold. So really, it doesn't make much difference. So you probably get 900, maybe 850 out of this battery at 32 or at 0 degrees. That's still more than enough. It saved me $50. Maybe down the line I'll get a different battery, but that was the best battery I could get for the price that I had, and I had to have something that would start it. This battery starts that vehicle. So I'm still debating on the back end. Obviously. Thank you, train, for yes. Okay. Let's try and get out of the train more. That's a little better. Okay. So the back end, I've had a couple of ideas. I think I might turn at the end actually renovate this to be campable. There's enough room in here that I could put a decent sized bed, counter space, and a bunch of stuff. I mean, I could fit a lot in here. Basically, be a tiny home that's actually larger than a tiny home. So there's that possibility, and that's kind of something I'm leaning towards. But I mean, right now it's chilly in here. I'm getting pretty cold, so I think at this point I'm going to end the video and get this ready for upload. So when you're watching this, obviously all those steps will be complete. And oh, one other thing I did not mention yet. These handles on these doors. Now, I don't have any way of locking these doors right now. I don't have these keys. But I did find a local locksmith that actually has them. So, I didn't ask how much, but I'm assuming probably $20-25 a lock. I'll need 2 of them. Then I'll have to figure something out for the back door. The sliding doors in the middle between the cab and the passenger, or the back area, those I don't really care about. I could use one to fix one side of it, because the side that's on the driver's side, you won't be able to see it at this point because I'm outside the truck and I'm not going back in it. Oh, actually, you can see. If you look right above my finger there, that's where a lock's supposed to be, and that's or a latch supposed to be, but it's not there. So, I mean, sourcing parts, I'm finding them. Yeah, I can't get them at the moment, and some of the parts I'm not worried about getting at the moment, like latches, because what's the point in locking something when, well, it really doesn't make a difference at this moment. So I'm going to wait on those. I'd rather have a functioning heater than a locking door. Simple because heat good, door locks for security. So it comes down to, it's everything has a purpose and a point. And as the project progresses, the less major things, everything has kind of a tier for its importance. A vehicle is only good if it has a running engine and transmission. Well, okay, your vehicle can move. Next is, can it stop? Definitely something that has to be functioning right. Otherwise, yeah, you get a vehicle up to 55 miles an hour with no brakes and things go horribly wrong. Tires are also amongst the high end. You want to have good tires, because a vehicle of this size, you get a good blowout, and well, there you go. You're done for. Those are absolute necessities. Then things like heating and cooling and stuff like that can come next. Then you got your physical body repairs, metal fabrication, stuff like that. That's going to be after that. Windows and doors and stuff like that will also be part of that kind of phase, because, well, actually, technically windows will come before body repair, simply because you need to be able to see out the window before you're driving down the street and get yourself in a freaking wreck. That would not be good. Wrecks are bad. I don't like them. So windows are definitely something that need to be dealt with and repaired. And then body work. So this rust here, that all has to be removed. New panels have to be made and placed in there. That's going to be some work. And it's not going to be hard. In fact, this whole panel here is riveted all in right there. So I pop out these rivets and drill them all out. Get those all drilled out. That whole panel comes out. That light assembly, all those lights come out. I map out new lights. I make a panel shape out of it. Cut and insert. And I'm done. I do that for both sides. That's both those panels. That's actually really, really simple. Now for one like this corner piece here, this is going to be a lot more difficult because, of course, I have to roll it and I have to shape it. So there's a lot more work there. But it's not impossible. It's just work. So it's a lot of work. And I'm eventually going to have this vehicle up and running. I'd like to have this done probably in the next 12 months. I'm hoping that with the way things are going and the changes and everything that are going on, that I'll have the money to go out and buy $200-300 in pieces without worry, and be able to focus on this and do all that. So, and again, well, I'm going to go back to the point of not yammering on anymore. It's been 32 minutes at this point, so if you've gotten this far in the video, then well, apparently you're at least interested enough to listen to me ramble. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for following. If you haven't followed me already on YouTube, please feel free to click the subscribe button. That way you get updated when I upload a new video on this project. If you haven't already joined me on Facebook, then I'll leave a link in the description so you can join me on Facebook. I probably should put that in all my other videos as well, but I'm still kind of getting into this. Anyways, if you like this video, well, thumbs up. Otherwise, I mean, I don't care if you like or dislike this video. I'm not doing it for views. I'm not doing it for that. Obviously, you already realize there's no ads in this video. So, YouTube, not selling my videos. And if they are, well, you might want to report it because this video is not monetized. I can't. Thanks for watching. Have a nice night.